I've always known. I chose this.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for movie plot points that were supposed to blow our minds, but instead left everyone in the theater collectively saying, "Called it." We'd say spoilers, but we all predicted these twists anyway.
Now, shall we begin?
Number 10. Dissociative Identity Disorder. Secret Window. In this adaptation of Stephen King's novella, Johnny Depp plays Mort, an author with a serious case of writer's block. In addition to going through a messy divorce, he's being hounded by the murderous John Shooter, who accuses him of plagiarism.
Hey, nice try, Mr. Shooter, but I beat you by 2 years.
It doesn't take long for the audience to notice that Mort is the only character that Shooter directly interacts with on screen, leading us to deduce that the mysterious stranger is a figment of his imagination.
What? No.
Kind of an amazing coincidence, don't you think?
The dissociative identity disorder twist was seemingly a trend in the early 2000s, as Hide and Seek starring Robert De Niro pulled the same stunt barely a year later. We'd say,
"You stole my story."
But even when Secret Window did it, the idea wasn't very fresh. Number 9. Scrappy Behind the Mask. Scooby-Doo. Going into this live-action Scooby movie, we can't say we expected Scrappy-Doo to be the criminal mastermind. The second he popped up in a flashback, though, even younger viewers thought, oh, so they're really going to make him the bad guy, huh?
Scrappy-Dappy-Doo! Ghosts don't stand a chance with me! Let me at him! Rock 'em! Suck 'em!
The flashback doesn't serve a purpose other than introducing Scrappy and giving him a motive. It doesn't take a seasoned sleuth to sniff out where this mystery is going.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and you dumb dog. I'll get you for this!
Sure, Sugar Ray and Pamela Anderson made pointless cameos, but the filmmakers weren't going to bother animating Scrappy for one scene and not have him be the villain. Honestly, it would have been funnier if they cut the flashback, and Scrappy just suddenly appeared in the climax.
Scrappy-Doo.
Correction! The new improved Scrappy!
At least we wouldn't have seen that coming. Number 8. A Very Sixth Sense Christmas. Last Christmas. The Sixth Sense was far from the first movie to employ a twist ending, but it definitely kicked off a modern trend. Many subsequent films tried replicating the same shock factor.
Would you like to repeat the experience?
Would you like to give me your number?
I don't have a phone.
Oh my God, I was just beginning to think you're not as weird as you look.
Even 20 years later, Last Christmas attempted to be the sixth sense of holiday rom-coms. The genre might have been different, but the twist is virtually the same, with Emilia Clarke's Kate realizing that Henry Golding's Tom is a ghost.
Where can I feel you?
Because I'm a part of you.
Not just any ghost, but the ghost of the organ donor who gave her his heart. They really took the Wham song literally. This twist might have worked in a half-hour Christmas special, but as a feature, the audience quickly realizes that Tom wears the same outfit and doesn't interact with anyone else for a reason.
Now I've got to go to work. You knew. I work nights.
Number 7. Mutt is Indy's son. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. When Shia LaBeouf was cast in this sequel, everyone jumped to the conclusion that he'd be playing Indiana Jones's son. They even called this out in LaBeouf's SNL monologue leading up to the film's release.
Okay, all right. What if I guess the ending? Would you tell me if I'm right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg have been working on this ending for 15 years, but go ahead, guess away.
Being so predictable, the story would have worked much better if they got this plot point out of the way up front. Instead, they drag it out for almost half the movie.
What's your mom's name again?
Mary? Mary Williams, you remember her?
Heard a lot of Marys, kid.
Shut up. That's my mother you're talking about.
Even when Mutt mentions that his mother is named Mary, it doesn't dawn on Indy that this could be Marion, who he left at the altar about 20 years earlier. The world's greatest archaeologist. When Marion finally lets the snake out of the bag, it feels less like a twist and more like a bad punchline that we all foresaw.
Mom? Man, I specifically told you not to come here yourself.
You never wrote that? You never said that in any phone calls?
Marion Ravenwood is your mother.
Oh, for God's sake, Indy, it's not that hard.
Number 6. The Jigsaw copycat's identity, Spiral. Saw movie endings are hit and miss. People still talk about the first film's jaw-dropper. The same can't be said about Spiral, which was supposed to breathe new life into the franchise.
From now on, you're gonna learn to be a team player. You're getting a partner.
While the film has its moments, the big twist couldn't stick the landing. It's obviously not a coincidence that William Shank joins the police department around the same time that a mysterious killer starts replicating Jigsaw's crimes.
Hello, Detective Banks. I'm here to help reform the Metro Police, to remind them of their oath to the people of this city.
Even when Shank seemingly dies, it doesn't throw us off his scent. In hindsight, you'd think Zeke would have reached out to Shank's next of kin, realizing he fabricated his family. Maybe this twist could have been salvaged if Shank was related to John Kramer, but the reveal that he was the son of a murdered witness is pretty underwhelming.
So, Charlie, you saw this cop throw the victim off a rooftop, and you can positively ID this cop.
I'll testify, Officer Dunleavy. I'll do it.
Number 5. Affleck is alive. Pearl Harbor. Ben Affleck got top billing in Pearl Harbor and was prominently featured in the trailers.
Ma'am, I'm never going to be an English teacher, but I know why I'm here, to be a pilot.
Even if you went into this wartime romance without seeing any advertising, we doubt anyone would have believed that the filmmakers would pull a Marion Crane. When Affleck's Rafe is presumed killed in action, his best friend Danny and best girl Evelyn turn to each other for comfort. Yeah, you all see where this is going. Yet it's still treated like a drama bomb when Rafe resurfaces, revealing that he survived the plane crash. Well, at least things can't get any more awkward.
Rafe, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, we saw that coming too. Don't worry, this movie will check off all the cliched soap opera twists, including Danny dying upon learning of his fatherhood.
Rafe, can you do me a favor? What? Can you let someone else write my name on the tombstone?
Number 4. Danny is humanity's savior. Terminator Dark Fate. To this movie's credit, we didn't anticipate it opening with John Connor's death. It was controversial, but perhaps this could take the franchise in a new direction.
Hey, go! You come with me or you're dead in the next 30 seconds.
The minute we meet Danny Ramos, though, it's clear that she's going to be the next John. Clear to everybody except Danny and Sarah Connor.
So you're here to protect her. What are you?
Sarah assumes that Danny will give birth to humanity's savior. Granted, Danny has no combat training, but neither did Sarah when she first clashed with the Terminator. Wouldn't the idea that Danny might be the future resistance leader cross Sarah's mind? By the time Sarah puts 2 and 2 together, she's late to the party. The film acts like this reveal is revolutionary, when in reality, it's just recycling the same story.
Then you need to be ready.
Number 3. Alice's Simulated Wonderland. Don't worry, darling. The behind-the-scenes drama surrounding this psychological thriller was more fascinating than the movie itself.
Is that why you went out there? To headquarters?
That's not to say we didn't get some top-notch production values and performances, but tell us if this sounds familiar. Our heroine lives in a nostalgic community where the women are told not to venture beyond certain borders. From the moment you hear this setup, you know that the film is actually going to be set in modern times, especially if you've seen The Village. Making Alice's world a simulation doesn't add much to the equation.
Whose world is it? Ours! Whose world is ours? Whose world is
Alice! Go! Go, Alice, go!
Maybe it would have been interesting to see what happens to Alice after she escapes, but the film just kind of ends there. At the very least, you could have left us on this line.
Damn. The whole thing was just a virtual reality experience.
Number 2. Miranda Tate is Talia al Ghul. The Dark Knight Rises. Surprise villains are among the most frustrating modern movie trends, especially when everybody figures it out from the cast list alone.
It's about feeding the ego of whichever society hag laid this on.
Actually, this is my party, Mr. Wade.
For the final entry in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, it was announced that Marion Cotillard would star as Miranda Tate, a character who's never appeared in the comics. Fans immediately concluded that Miranda was an alias for Talia al Ghul. Cotillard insisted that she wasn't playing Talia, and that Miranda was a good guy, but she didn't fool anybody. Well, she did fool Batman, who doesn't realize Miranda's true identity until she stabs him in the back.
But my father could not accept pain. He saw only a monster.
The world's greatest detective. The only real surprise here is that young Talia is played by Joey King of the Kissing Booth trilogy.
Feel the fire of 12 million souls. You failed.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. My name is, we know Khan. Star Trek Into Darkness. Being the second entry in the rebooted Star Trek series, introducing Khan as the villain was the next logical step.
A remnant of a time long past. Genetically engineered to be superior so as to lead others to peace in a world at war.
When Benedict Cumberbatch joined the cast, we all knew who he'd be playing, but Into Darkness learned nothing from Dark Knight Rises a year earlier. The filmmakers, marketing team, and actors did everything in their power to cover up the fact that Cumberbatch was Khan.
A smokescreen to conceal my true identity. My name is Khan.
This was like trying to hide an elephant in a one-room apartment, however. If anything, their efforts to keep this twist under wraps only seemed to draw more attention to John Harrison inevitably being Khan. Reflecting on the sequel, J.J. Abrams acknowledged a few things that he might have done differently, including trying to conceal Khan's role in the film.
But I was discovered. I had no choice but to escape alone.
Which plot twists did you see coming from a mile away? Let us know in the comments, but we guess leave a spoiler alert. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.